Welcome to Subramani. How many times we hear about people going on easy treks or not very difficult rock climbing expeditions and dying, right? So I've heard of stories. I've heard of more stories abroad than stories in India, but even in India I've heard of stories which are people who have done lots of mountain climbing just slip and fall. I heard about a boy maybe a couple of years ago who has handled a lot of snakes and died of a snake bite. It's not difficult to hear these things because many of these things, even for experienced people, look simple. We even describe it as something very simple, easy treks, easy mountains, right? So things like that where you have to just walk on the snow. It's not very difficult. You've got heated shoes available, all that is available, all the equipment is available, and suddenly something goes wrong. The rope snaps, or the lead climber falls, right? So these things you have heard about, and you realize that life is not as simple as it looks. In fact, there is a theory which says every job is easy if you don't have to do it. So mountain climbing, all of them have risk, and it is not described fully, right? You are never told about all the risk which is there. So you are told, oh, it's an easy mountain, it's an easy trek, you got enough experience walking on the snow, so it should be a breeze. You can be back by lunch, and even on treks when you are told you can be back by lunch, of course you can be back by lunch provided you have lunch at 5 o'clock. These treks are very difficult to do, and even the easiest of treks are difficult to do. So just imagine you've done the trek to the Everest. Here is Everest mountain, and there is a queue. I mean, it happens always that there is a queue. You have oxygen for exactly 10 minutes. And this is a 4-minute walk up to the to the place where you want to place your flag, or you want to stand and be snapped. It's 4 minutes, so it's 4 plus 4, but you have no clue how much is the waiting time at that place to take a decision about whether you want to go. Remember, you have invested 50 lakhs, you have invested 3 years time, you have spent so much effort in reaching there. At that stage, to decide that, look, my life is more important than reaching this place and not being able to come back, it's not going to be a easy decision. So that is what happens when you have to decide under duress. So similarly, many things which are like buy and hold sounds very simple, right? A diet, all you have to do is stop eating sugar, or stop eating after 6 o'clock. Anybody tells you, and it sounds very simple. These are really very simple, but it is very difficult to implement, right? So if I tell you to stop sugar, there are many people who do stop sugar, get the benefits, and still I am not able to stop sugar. I am not on zero sugar. I am not a vegan. I still like my curd, I still like my cheese, right? So butter, whatever. So have I gone vegan? No. Have I cut down sugar to zero? No. Have I cut down sugar? Maybe yes, but have I gone to zero? No. I have not cut down any type of sugar, white sugar or good or honey. I still have it. So these are things which are, typically very easy in theory, but very difficult in practice. All you have to do is take a red color ball and bowl at 145 kilometers per hour or 150 kilometers per hour. Sounds very simple, right? But if you take a ball, and if you can bowl at that speed consistently for say 10 overs in a day, 50-60 balls at that pace, you'd be a world beater, right? Not everybody becomes a world beater. India has so many fast bowlers, not everybody reaches that level. So whether it is diet, whether it is meditation, whether it is buy and hold, any of these things, it sounds very simple. Going for a walk, all you have to do is get up in the morning at 6 o'clock and go for a walk. So what's so difficult? I don't know what's so difficult, but not many people are able to do it. That's the challenge. People are not able to do it. Then you have to find out what is wrong with I'm not even saying something is wrong. I'm just saying something sounds very simple, doesn't mean it gets executed, right? It sounds very easy, but maybe it is very easy, maybe it is very simple. I'm not even getting into it, but not many people can implement it. So buy a share and hold it for 66 years. It's there in my portfolio. I have a share which is held for 66 years. It's called Hindalco. Is it a great share? Is it a great IRR? What is the cost of me holding it now? Does not matter to you at all. Does not even matter to me. But you have to understand that there have been periods when the great Indira Gandhi had controls on the aluminum price, and those 5 years, 10 years, whatever, I don't remember, obviously Hindalco did not pay dividend, right? So it's important to know that these things happen, right? So when that happens, are you in a position to hold on and say, I'm fine? Are you saying, oh, this is my risk profile? The problem is when that girl or boy sitting in the planner's office asks, how would you react to a 30% fall in the market? You said, oh, I don't have a problem, I will be able to react. Now imagine market has already fallen 30%, your portfolio has fallen 35%. Now you will buy and hold, right? That's what you said to that girl when she was doing your risk profiling. But twist it a little. You have your wife is, you're 32 years of age, your wife is pregnant with the second kid, the first kid has just been admitted in school. So your wife has been advised rest, so she's going to take time off, she's going to take a 2-year, 3-year sabbatical to have the kid, look after the kid, etc. And therefore her income will stop, right? You will get maybe 6 months, you will get the income because of her maternity leave, and after that the income will stop because she's planning to leave her job. This is the time when your father calls you and says, look, I have small problem, I have a liquidity problem, I have to pay some bills, but I have a fixed deposit maturing after a year, can you give me some money? And you give him the money. Then that is the day when your boss is also called and said, look, times are very difficult, don't expect to get the same increment which you got last year, we'll be very lucky if we hold our jobs for another 2 years. Right now, under these circumstances, tell me, if there's a 30% fall in the market, are you a buyer, are you a seller, or will you just hold what you're doing? That is the problem. When a person asks you to do your risk profiling, you are unable to do your risk profiling because none of us can predict what is going to happen in the future. So on a day when your wife has been advised bed rest, your dad wants some money, and your boss is not very comfortable about the future, the market is also down by 30%, your portfolio is down by 35%. That time, are you willing to allocate more cash to your investments? That is the question. The question is not, oh, you're sitting comfortably and nothing is wrong, your boss has just given you a raise, your wife has got a jump in salary, and you know, all that has happened, and the market is down 30%. It's not happening that way. It's not on that day that the market will be down. On that day when you checked your market, your portfolio, it was up by 8% that month, so you were feeling gung-ho, right? That is the time when somebody asks you, if the market falls 30%, oh, I'll buy, right? That's what you say, but what will you do, right? Or some more time passes, there's some more fall in the portfolio, and your mother looks at your portfolio, or your father looks at your portfolio and says, look, you got one child, you got another child coming, and your wife is not going to work. Do you really want to continue this portfolio? Do you not want to liquidate some of the shares and be in cash, because you're going to require a lot of money over the next 1 year in terms of expenses, etc., etc.? And well, what do you tell them? Do you say, no, I've read that whenever you keep buying during such times, you get better returns after 7 years? So the first question is, yes, fantastic, 7 years you will get very good return, but will you survive those 7 years? That's the first question that somebody will ask, right? You're not sitting in some Himalayan cave and you're insulated from the market. That does not happen, because if that were to happen, it would be easier to keep yourself sane. But here you're going to be bombarded by CNBC news items saying, oh, market lost so much, ET Now headlines saying Ambani and Adani are poorer by hundreds of crores, right? All this is being bombarded, and that time you have to sit calm and say, yes, I know that in the long run equity will make money, therefore I will invest. It's not easy. I can assure you it's not easy, right? How many of us invest to sell at perhaps the bottom? Most of us are not in a mood to sell, at least not when we invest. When we invest, we don't think we are going to sell it at that price, but that is the price which is going to test your patience like anything. And it is also possible that you sell a share at 100 rupees and then it goes down to 85, and you're very happy that at least you didn't hit the bottom. So, but you sold somewhere near the bottom, and then the market recovers and it goes to 300. At that stage, are you happy about the 15 rupees you saved or the 200 rupees that you lost, right? That's the question. So some of the worst drawdowns have happened, and many people have lost money. I mean, Prashant Jain's portfolio, Naren's portfolio, Warren Buffett's portfolio. In fact, I have a table somewhere showing Warren Buffett with a 50% drawdown happening. I think it was 2007 or something like that. right, with that kind of a fall. So if it can happen to Buffett, if it can happen to Mukesh Ambani, if it can happen to Gautam Adani, why will it not happen to you, right? That's a question that you have to ask. So what should you do to avoid this? Is best is to keep learning, keep reading, keep understanding that a one-day portfolio variation does not mean 10 years it will vary so much. Understand it in the long run you will make money. Have somebody with whom you can talk to, right? A buddy system, a WhatsApp group that you have created of sensible investors, right? So that is, or of course get yourself a financial advisor who understands all this and who can handhold you. Unfortunately for direct equity investors, there is no concept of a equity advisor. There you can find financial planners and all of them, but they all talk more about mutual funds than about direct equity, right? So first of all, understand that investing is a game. It's a difficult game, or it's a very serious thing that you're doing about in your life. Everyone holds on in a bull market, not everybody holds on in a bear market, right? As soon as the market falls 5%, somebody will quit, and somebody will quit at 10, somebody at 20, somebody at 40, and somebody at 50, right? That's about all. It's about how long you will hold and whom you are talking with, right? So when an investor becomes more and more financially educated, he will realize that his asset allocation will help him sleep better. Now I have reached a level where at any asset allocation to me it doesn't matter, because I am in 90% equity and I'm ready for a 40% fall in the prices. Yes, it will hurt me mentally, but physically it will not matter at all, because I will have my dividend income and my debt assets to pay for the next, say, 2-3 years when such things happen. So the ability to hold your portfolio depends on your advisor and the portfolio construction that you have done. I have done it myself, but please understand that I talk to a lot of people who keep vetting what I have done and say, oh, this is a risk you can take because you can afford to take this risk. Do take the risk, right? So understanding how much of money you have, that's the easy part, I think. Understanding how you will behave when the market fluctuates 30, 40, 50%, that is the key, right? So will there be a fall? Yes, there will be a fall. Has a fall been there in Prashant's portfolio, in Naren's portfolio? Yes, it has been there. Has it been there in Buffett's portfolio? Yes. Have people written off Buffett? Answer is yes, people have written off Buffett. I mean, it's like Sanjay Manjrekar writing off Sachin Tendulkar about 10 years before he actually retired, right? So there will be always somebody who comes and says what you should do, what you should not do. Oh, you're an old man, it's an old middling insurance company. That is what Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway was called. You have to be ready for all that, weather all storms to reach the other coast. Thank you.